I love Little Caesars. I really do. It's my favorite pizza place. Oh my God, I love Little Caesars. I recommend anybody to go there all the time, every time. It's just this one little incident had me not wanting to go there at this particular place, this particular one place. It had my kids feeling very depressed, and I just feel like it wasn't the company, it was the employees who work there. That's how I honestly feel. So I only had $10 to my name, and with this COVID-19 going around, I'm not very fortunate. I don't have work right now. I just had a baby, and I have a 6 and a 7-year old. So I have someone take me, and we're there waiting, and we asked the little girl nicely, is the extra asbestos ready? That's the first thing we asked. She said no, it was going to be a 30-minute wait. So we were like, is there any hot and ready's ready? So we can just grab and go. We have hungry kids. She said yes. She's like, they're ready. So we were like, okay, we're expecting to go to the window, grab a hot and ready, pay for the merchandise, and leave. Well, we're looking into the window and we're waiting there for about 20 minutes, and we're looking into the window. She hasn't even gotten our payment yet or anything like that. My kids are crying. So the person I'm with is like honking, 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 and he's like trying to wave her down. She's watching. They're in there eating. The manager's in there texting away. They're talking, and I'm like, knock on the window and ask if they can at least get our payment first. So we can wait, but ask if we can get our payment and pull around the corner. There's like 15 other cars behind us. Well, he knocks on the window, and the little girl just bursts open the window and she starts cussing away. And of course, if you're getting cussed at, someone else is gonna argue with you back. So I'm like, is there any way we can just do it? So she starts cussing, and I'm like, look, I was like, little girl, have some respect for the customers that are paying. Let me tell you about I have a problem going on. I just need to get my order, I need to go. And she's like, well, it doesn't seem like you have a problem at all. And she's cussing. So I was like, okay, that's where you draw the line. I get off, I go inside, and I'm trying to speak to the manager, and he's ignoring me. And I'm like, sir, please, this is a serious situation about your employee. If you can please understand where I'm coming from, please let me explain what's going on. Can we just have our order? And he's like, well, it's basically like the little girl, she's the manager there. She's like, I'm denying services. And I'm like, sir, you don't even know why she is saying she's denying services. Can you please let me explain? This is something, y'all are the only places that are open. Let me explain what is going on. And he was like, no, no. He's like, all I had to hear was her cussing away. And I'm like, sir, you don't understand. He's like, well, I'm going to call the cops. And I was like, okay, we'll call the cops so I can explain what's going on. He ends up calling the cops. And there's another employee there working that night. He was a cook, and he wasn't doing anything. He was cooking. He was doing what he was supposed to do. And he was cooking. He was cooking and stuff. So I'm like, I tell the cops, well, I have hungry kids. They're hungry. They haven't eaten. I don't work with COVID-19. I barely got $10 from somebody, and I'm just trying to get my order, and I'm trying to leave. So the manager says, well, the little girl apparently had a bad day or something like that. To me, it's like, leave your bad days at home. Your bad days at home should stay at home. When you come to work, it's a whole different story. You have to have a great attitude, a positive vibe. People were right behind us when she was like blowing up. She was blowing up. People were right behind us. People got off the car too, and they were talking to the cop as well, letting the cop know, like, all this lady was trying to do was feed her kids. And to me, it was kind of embarrassing because I had to go home with hungry kids. I didn't get no food that night. I had to wait until a day after that to order, because that the same people were working the same night. I end up calling, and while I was calling, I kept calling and calling corporate, and they didn't want to. They didn't, they at first they didn't do nothing. So I went online and I did like a little review online, and that's how I ended up getting a number. But I end up calling. I kept trying to call the manager so I can keep on explaining, and he was like, "You need to stop calling here." And I was like, "Well, I'm trying to explain." Then you have people. It's like I tell him, you have people in the back always smoking, not doing their jobs, and it's like, we are hungry. We're hungry customers that we have kids we need to feed, and for someone to tell another person, my kids were crying that night because they thought they were going to get coronavirus. And it's like, no, you don't get coronavirus like that. The girl who wished bad on you is gonna get wished bad on herself. You don't do that. My kids are 7 and 8. So I told the manager, that's something you don't go and tell kids. Me, I'm a grown adult. I know about it, but they don't. They don't know what's going on in this world. They don't know how to go by it. All they know is mommy's not working because of the COVID-19. We don't have that much money. We go to Little Caesars, and the little girl's like the one thing that really made me angry was she wanted to say, "I hope y'all get COVID-19 and die." What was the whole point of that? Knowing that there's kids there. What was the whole point of that? What was the whole point of denying service when y'all should be doing y'all's job? Y'all shouldn't be eating. Y'all shouldn't be talking. Why are y'all even touching the food with y'all's hands? That's all that stuff is against rules and regulations. Y'all shouldn't even be doing that. So I had no choice. I mean, I didn't get my order. I didn't the cop told me, "Well, he's the manager. If he denies service, we can't really do anything. The only thing we can do is tell y'all to leave." And I respected that. I understood that. There was a lot of people who gave me their numbers, and they were like, "You know what? If you call and you make a complaint, you have our number, so we can, agree to that complaint because that's just something someone shouldn't do, whether they're having a bad day or not." And to me, it was kind of really rude because it's like, we're hungry. I just had a baby. My two kids are hungry, and I was like, please don't deny them service. And I was begging the manager, don't deny my kids service, please. All I'm asking is y'all just to take my order, let me pay, and just let me go on about my night. But it just didn't happen like that. It really didn't. It really didn't. It was very upsetting. Yeah, they didn't want to listen. They told me to call back a day after I called. So I ended up calling back and still nothing. So I ended up going on the like you go on the website and so you can make a review like that. So that's how I ended up doing it. I made a review, and then that's when they gave me a number I had to call. So when I called this really nice lady, I forgot her name. She she took my like my story, whatever happened, and she was like, you know what, we're gonna investigate it. She's like, did you pay for anything? And I was like, no, it wasn't the fact that I had to pay for anything because I didn't pay for anything, but it's the fact is that I think Little Caesar deserves better. They don't deserve an employee who's gonna bring the bad attitude to work or to treat customers like that who are barely even making it by. And Little Caesars is the only place that is affordable at the time, and it's an amazing place to eat because I'm a daily customer there. I go there every day. It feeds me and my whole family. So when I don't have food, I go there and 8 slices feeds all of us four. So it's like I never experienced this before, and it was crazy. It really was. It was just out of hand.